reuse, and recycle. Dare I say the second most infamous trinity outside of the Holy Trinity. But what do you know of reducing, reusing, and recycling outside of what you were taught when you were younger? And let's expose the truth behind recycling. We were all taught when we were younger that we can be sustainable and environmentally friendly by reducing, reusing, and recycling. But what if I told you that only 30% of the 75% of recyclable plastic produced in the US is actually recycled? And of that plastic that's actually recycled, the plastic that me and you put into recycling bins, only 5% of that plastic, 5 to 6% ends up being recycled. Most of it ending up in landfills and oceans or incinerated. There's multiple factors that play into the very, very low recycle rates of plastic. Plastic has quite the complex composition, and there's a plethora of kinds of plastics. There are multiple factors that go into how plastic is not very recyclable. It has a complex composition, so it's harder to mix different kinds of plastics and break them down to create something new because they have different compositions. They cannot be broken down together. So sifting through plastics is very hard. A lot of plastic is mixed, recyclable plastic is mixed in with unrecyclable plastic, which just renders the entire batch obsolete. So that's another huge proponent of waste. And overall, triple R is just a fallacy because plastic cannot be recycled indefinitely, unfortunately. Once it starts from this grade, it's recycled, becomes more toxic, and is a lower grade plastic that is used for something that's cheaper, and the process just continues all the way down to until you can't recycle the plastic anymore. The United States produced 35.7 million tons of plastic in 2018. And while we don't have more recent data, I'm sure that number has only increased. The US had a 31% recycling rate for glass, on the other hand. And the thing with glass is that it's easier to recycle than plastic because it's less harmful to the environment, is cheaper, so it's better for the economy. And the glass is pretty much safe, it's easy to clean, and it doesn't end up having more toxins than when new glass is produced, as well as its simpler composition. Some regions even report having a 70% recycling rate for glass. That's quite amazing. The same cannot be said for plastic though. Recycling plastic increases its toxicity multiple fold. From already having 16,000 chemical elements within it, once recycled, a lot more are produced. Don't be demoralized. Upcycle. I will give you a new trinity to live by. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Good. Reduce, thrift, upcycle. Yes! Approximately 13% of discarded clothing textiles are recycled, and the entire 87% ends up incinerated or in landfills or sent to Africa or some other third world nations that need clothing. I think that Gen Z is really into fashion, like a lot more than other generations, or that might just be my perception due to social media and social media's proliferation of fashion, which has made fashion a lot more accessible to the whole world, which is why I think Gen Z is a lot more into fashion, a lot more fast fashion, high demand for fashion. But we don't have to be part of that. We don't have to be part of this harmful industry that's causing harm to our planet. We can thrift. I've adopted practices into my personal life that help me align myself with the goals that I'm speaking of. I thrift, I upcycle, I practice minimal consumption because I'm a broke college student, but then it's helped me master that discipline anyways. Other ways that you can try and that I try to be more effective is doing more research on organizations that I donate to. Like when I'm donating clothes, I want to know like, okay, who are these clothes going to? Do these individuals really need clothes? Because with a lot of clothes that are given away in the US, they end up being sent to the US and Europe. They end up being sent to Africa. And the clothes, even in Africa, end up in landfills, destroying their ecosystems, polluting their land. There is no such thing as throwing away. It always ends up somewhere. Please reconsider ordering from Shein or indulging in fast fashion in general. Matter of fact, I'll dare you to stay away from online shopping. Maybe even throw away retail as a whole away and just, I'm just joking. Baby steps. It's not about convenience, but rather sacrificing for something that I believe in, which is something that I think if everybody did, there would be a significant difference in the world. We've preached to the suppliers and pleaded that they be more sustainable and ethical in their practices, but they don't care. They have a goal, and that goal is to make a profit. So I suppose it's in yours and my hands